Hey guys, so in today's video, I'm going to show you how to do a cut crease for hooded eyes. When my face is relaxed, my eyes are very hooded, so this is my tips and tricks to make your eyes look bigger and look like you have more lid space. I also use the Jaclyn Hill palette for this tutorial since so many of you want to see more looks with it. So if you want to see how I got this look and how to do a cut crease for hooded eyes, go ahead and keep on watching. A lot of you guys might think, Angela, you don't have hooded eyes, but I do. When I normally film, I just kind of naturally lift up my eyebrow and I will tilt my head back, and so when I'm filming, it looks like I have a nice crease right here, but when my eye is completely relaxed like it is right now, I have hooded eyes and it's hard for me not to like I want to lift up my eyebrow so bad. So as you can see, I have a lot of meat going on right here. My natural crease is this tiny little line right there. I have a very small lid space. So cut creases are good for hooded eyes because you kind of create like a fake crease, kind of like an illusion, you know what I mean? My natural crease is right here and you can't even see it, but if I create a cut crease that's up higher, it's gonna make my eye look bigger and it's gonna look like I have more lid space than I actually do. It's kind of like contouring for your eye. So for this tutorial, I'm gonna be using the Jaclyn Hill palette just because I know so many of us own this. This video might be somewhat longer than my usual eye makeup tutorials just because I am gonna explain like every step I'm doing and why I'm doing it and all that good stuff. See, even right now I'm lifting up my eyebrow. Relax. So there's actually a few different types of cut creases you can do. You will see me a lot do a half cut crease because I love having like a gradient effect on my eye. You can also do like a full cut crease and kind of wing it out. I personally don't like that on my eye shape because it just looks different when I'm like this and when I'm like this, so I don't like that. My favorite way to wear a cut crease and how I'm going to do it today is right in the center of my lid. It kind of creates a halo effect as well, which again is just going to make your eyes look bigger. I'm going to start with the transition shade, so I'm going to take Silk Cream on a Sigma E40. I'm going to try my best to keep my eyes relaxed for this video. I'm sorry if I end up lifting it up, but it's just such a habit of mine. So I'm going to put the shade above my natural crease, kind of more in my eye socket area because I can feel my brow bone goes right here, so I'm kind of going right underneath my brow bone. And I'm just going to go in back and forth motions to distribute the color. I'm also kind of tilting my head back just a little bit so I can get right in here. On the same brush, I'm going to take Butter, and I'm going to do the same exact thing with this shade. And you can see when I'm looking straight ahead, you can see the color that I'm putting in my crease, which is what you want. If I put it any lower, you wouldn't be able to see it when my eye is open. Now I'm going to take a smaller blending brush. This is a Sigma F63 and I'm going to take the shade Buns. And we're going to use this to darken up our fake crease. So I'm going to see where my crease needs to be, which is right in here. That's where I'm going to start the shadow. And I'm just creating a half moon shape with it. I'm using a very light hand with this shadow and brush because I don't want to put the shadow all over the place. I want it to be very concentrated right here. I'm going to grab an even darker shade, so I'm going to take Mocha. And I'm going to do the same exact thing, just like what I did with Buns. This is just deepening it up even more. And see, when I look straight ahead, you can totally see the shadow. I'm going to go back with my first fluffy brush and just kind of blend out this little area right here. It's just looking a little bit too harsh. Now I'm going to take more Mocha on a Sigma E32, and I'm going to start to pack that on my outer corner and inner corner to create the halo effect. And I do have a coupon code with Sigma. You can use my code AngelaBright to get 10% off anything. Their brushes are my absolute favorite. I use them in every single video. They're literally amazing. And I do link every brush I use down below, and I kind of tell you what the brush is as well to make it easy for you to see which ones I'm using for what. We're packing it on the outer corner and bringing it up to our little fake crease here. And again on my inner corner. And then I'll softly connect it right here in the center in the little fake crease. And I'm going to take that little blending brush, the F63, and just use that to softly blend. So now for the step that's going to make the biggest difference, the actual cut crease part. For me, I find it easier to use a liquidy concealer. Some people like to use a cream concealer or like a MAC paint pot kind of deal, but I find concealer works the best for me. My favorite concealer for this is the Urban Decay All Nighter Concealer. I like this concealer because it's not too liquidy and it dries matte, so it's not going to transfer as much as like a dewy concealer would. And then for this step, I use a very, very tiny brush. This is a BH Cosmetics number 11 brush. You could also use something a little bit longer like this. This is a Sigma E47. See, it's just still very tiny. Some people like to use an even bigger brush like a E58. This guy's just bigger, but it's still really flat. I just like to use this tiny one because I feel like I have more control that way. So I'm gonna take my concealer and I'm just gonna get a little bit on the tip of the brush here. If you wanted to, you could just start to map out the crease right there and call it good. Or you can do this little concealer trick I will show you. I'm gonna stamp the concealer on like my actual real crease. And I'm gonna look up and you can see it transferred up a little bit higher right there. And that's around the area where you want your new cut crease to be. So I'm gonna find that little spot. And I just stamp the concealer first to get like a good guideline of where I want it to be. And I'm just keeping it right in the center. And then you can take more concealer and just fill out this little center area of your lid. And see, when my eye is open, you can see the top of my cut crease, which is what you want. My natural crease is actually right here, so I kind of went maybe like 1/4 of an inch higher than my real crease. That was probably the hardest step, so now we have the hard part over with. And now I like to take a lighter shimmery color and pop that in the center right on top of the concealer. So I'm going to take a E46 in the shade Hustle, and I'm just going to put that right over the concealer. The concealer will also make the eyeshadow stick better, so that's just kind of like an added plus. And you go all the way up to that cut crease. My eye is already looking so much bigger. We are doing good. So now we need to blend this lighter color into the darker color. So I'm going to take the E32 with more buns and just put that right in between the two shades to kind of blend them together. Now I'm going to go back into one of my little tiny brushes and I'm going to take the shade Mocha, which is the darkest shade we've been using. And I'm going to put that right above the cut crease to kind of deepen it up, and it's going to make this lighter part pop even more. You only need a tiny bit of shadow for this part, and you want to use a very light hand. See how that just made it pop a little bit more? Now I'm going to move on to the lower lash line. On the Sigma F63, I'm going to take Butter and Silk Cream, and I'm just going to blend that along my entire lower lash line. Then I'm going to take Buns and just do the same exact thing. And then I'm going to take Mocha. Now on a little tiny brush, this is the L04, I'm going to take Beam, and I'm going to use that to highlight my inner corner. And right underneath my brow bone. Now I'm just going to do a very thin line of eyeliner, and for that I'm going to use the Smashbox Always On Liquid Eyeliner. And I do like to start my eyeliner all the way in my little inner corner and bring it all the way out to my outer lashes. Now I'm going to pop on some mascara and lashes. So for lashes, I used House of Lashes Allura Light, and here's the final look. Alright, here is my eye completely relaxed, and as you see when I look down, my lid looks so much bigger. I have so much more space there now. You can see my cut crease when I'm looking straight ahead. and my eye just looks a lot bigger and I love it. This is the easiest way that I've found to do a cut crease on myself. Of course, there's so many other techniques you can do, but this is how I like to do it. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and learned something new and helpful. Go ahead and subscribe if you want to. I put out new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thank you so much for watching.